Welcome, everyone, to Locks of Lore. My name is Benny.
And I'm Tash.
This is Locks of Lore, where two hairstylists get real about the life behind the chair.
We are talking client drama, money talks, industry tea, and everything you'd normally only hear in the back room.
Whether you're a stylist or just love the beauty world, welcome to the group chat. Hi, hello, we are back. It is us.
Welcome. Thank you for joining in.
We hope you had an amazing week. We're sorry this week's episode is a little bit late. I was off in LA and Tasha was just crazy in the salon, so we didn't get any time to record this until today. So Tuesday is when you're probably going to be hearing this podcast. Apologies.
And how was LA, Benny?
LA was really good altogether. So we went to a train the trainer. Basically, they teach us what we're going to be teaching for the rest of the year. And this one was a little bit different than what we normally do because it was a cross-brand experience, which means it was all of the Henkel umbrella companies. The first day we had a keynote speaker. His Instagram handle is Popular Nobody. He's a NAHA award-winning educator, phenomenal guy, such a great keynote speaker. I would have to say one of the best that we have had because, we've all gone to these social media speakers before, and they tell us the same thing about how to be consistent, whatever. But what was different about his perspective is, yes, he's really good at social media, but he's also an award-winning educator. So he gave us a lot of insight on both being an educator and how to speak and how to be good public speakers and how to read the room when we're in a class, but also how to translate that to social media. So it was very beneficial for us to listen to. And I know a lot of people were taking notes. I just recorded everything. So that was really, really nice. And then we went off and we had our breakouts, and only two other Pravana artists were there. So it was a little bit of an interesting situation where they were trying to teach us these techniques. And of course, we finished really fast because it was just the three of us. So I got to walk around and see what other people were teaching, what they were learning. So that was really cool. I did have a weird ghost experience when I was there, and I have been kind of alluding to it, and I guess I could tell you guys what happened.
We need to hear this.
Yeah, I put it on my Instagram, and now everybody's waiting for a ghost story. This is what happened to me in LA when I was there last time.
Okay,
So I'm going to
excited.
preface this story by saying I have seen ghosts a few times in my life. This isn't new for me, but I've never had an experience this concentrated before. Every time I've seen a ghost before, it'll be like it flashes by and I acknowledge it, but then that's it. And that's what I thought this time was. So I believe this was the second day of our training. So we'd had our full day with the keynote speaker. And then the second day, we had to get up really early because we had to leave early to go to a winery. So we were up at 6 o'clock or something like that. And I was running to go downstairs and meet everybody on the bus because, of course, in Benny fashion, I was right down to the fucking wire getting ready. And as I'm running down the hallway, someone was behind me and I stopped to look behind me and there was nobody there. And personally, whenever somebody's running behind me, it makes me run. I can't know that someone's behind me and not hurry up a little bit. So that's what made me first think that someone was behind me because I got that feeling to start to rush. And then I saw a shadow and I looked behind me, nothing was there. And so I didn't really think anything of it because it was super early. And when those kind of things happen, you just write them off as, oh, that was weird, and you go about your day. So that was
and
what
you're
happened the
probably
first time.
you're probably feeling flustered because you're also trying to not miss the bus to the winery. So you're just running to get on
100%.
the bus. Yeah.
100%. And I have all my stuff with me because it was in the morning, so we were on our way to training. So I had all my hair tools, all that stuff, whatever. Anyway, so we go to the training. It was fine. And then we come back to the hotel to change before going to the winery. And I wanted ice. So I was in the ice room filling up my water bottle with ice. And I guess I was just finishing up filling it. And I looked out. There's the ice room, and it's inside a little cubby area, right? So as I was finishing filling my ice, I looked up and somebody walked by the entry again. And my first instinct was to go and see who it was, and so I walked out towards that person, and in the direction that they were walking, there's nowhere for them to go unless they were going in a room, and I walked out right away and no doors closed and nobody was there. So
No, they're
at
not
this point now,
there.
they're not there. So this at this point now, this is the second time, and so now I'm starting to pay attention. The first time it was in the back of my mind. This time I was paying attention because I was like, okay, this is
Wait a
weird.
sec, yeah.
Wait a sec. And so I kind of just acknowledged and moved on, went to the gym, got ready, went to the winery, had a phenomenal time. And then when we came back, of course, we're all tipsy. It's a winery. We all decide to go to the hot tub. And so there was, I believe, three or four. At first, it was just me and one of the other educators down there. And at one point, I saw somebody walk by the like chairlift area. So there's like, obviously four edges to this small hot tub. And right beside me is where this chairlift thing is. And so I see somebody walk by it. And I turned to look and I walked over to the chairlift and I'm even lifting up the little cover to see what was there, confused. And the girl that was with me, I mentioned it. I said, "Hey, did you see somebody walking by?" She said, "No, there's nobody here." So I obviously agreed with her and kept it moving. And then my left ear started ringing like piercingly loud, like to the point where I had to
Weird.
close my eyes and my head started to vibrate, it felt like. And so I told her, I said, "Hey, my ear is ringing. It's happened a few times today, but it's getting really, really loud. What does that mean?" And so she Googled it and it said that there is either someone trying to communicate with me, my intuition's trying to talk to me, listen to my intuition. And to be honest with you, when I've had this ear ringing sensation, I usually know that I have to meditate in order to allow whatever is trying to communicate in. And so
Yeah.
I knew that I didn't have time to have that meditation right there in that pool. So I kind of put it in the back burner. And at this point now, maybe two or three of the other educators have joined. So there's like, five of us in this hot tub. And again, I saw someone walk behind me. And again, I looked behind me and I asked the other educator, "Hey, did you see that again?" She said, "No, it must have been a shadow. There's nobody here." And so at this point now, this is the fourth time in the same day that this ghost has
Holy.
like been in my periphery and I've noticed it. Okay. So maybe fast forward 5, 10 minutes. I've never actually experienced this before, but it almost seemed as though everything around me, the volume just was turned to the max. I couldn't focus because
Huh.
all I could hear everybody breathing, everybody talking, the sound of the jets. It was almost like I was having a sensory overload. Um,
Yeah.
Nothing changed. I was much more aware of the sounds around me, and my ears started ringing again. And so I got up out of the hot tub and I said, I need to cool off and find some quiet time. So I went into the regular pool that's on the other side of the deck to, do a couple of laps, clear my head. I just needed to get away from all that noise. So I got up, I went to the pool on the other side of the deck, and I'm doing laps. Like I'm swimming back and forth. I maybe did my third lap. I'm submerged underwater completely. And as I look up, I see someone walk by the pool yet again. And so this
Okay.
time I stood up right away. Like I stood up because I wanted to catch this thing. So I stood up right away
Yeah.
and I looked to right where they were standing, and nobody's there. And there's nowhere that they could have gone. Like the only place they could have gone is to dissipate right into the fucking cement. Like there's
Oh my god, I have
nowhere they
goosebumps.
they're in the pool with me, you know? So I stop
Okay.
and I not scream, but I project out loud, "Please stop following me. I'm getting uncomfortable. If you have something to tell me, just tell me right now and stop playing this game because I'm not afraid of you, but I'm annoyed by you. And this is getting to the point where I
Yeah, this
don't
is a lot.
want to see this anymore. This is a lot, you know? Just be out with it. If you want to talk to me, talk to me." And so as I'm saying this, I get this image of a child running away.
Oh,
And it just leaves, and then my ear starts to ring all over again. And so I'm standing there looking up at the stars and hearing my ear ring. I feel this child look. I don't know if it was a child. I just felt like a childlike energy running away. So as soon as I turned to look and talk to it, it left. And so I kind of submerged myself underwater to just calm myself. Um, and when I came back up, I had this overwhelming feeling that I need to spend more time there because I've had ghost experiences before, but whenever I've had a supernatural experience in LA, it's so much more amplified. There was this one experience. I'm not sure. I think you might have been there when me, Danica, and Megan did a card reading for someone, And
Yeah.
I've never experienced what Megan has said before, where she says, when you do a card reading or when you're speaking to spirit, you don't remember what you're saying. You're just in a
Mhm.
mode. And as soon as you come out of it, you don't remember. So we were doing this tarot card reading for someone, and it really, honestly, truly felt like we became the oracle. The three of us were finishing each other's sentences. Like the download was coming in through all three of us at the same time. And then as soon as we came out of it, I had no idea what was talking about, what we even said. I just remembered the feeling of being all one and finishing each other's sentences, and almost oracle like feeling where we were separate souls but one in connection with whoever was trying to communicate in that moment. And I've never forgot that because I've never had that strong of an experience with tarot before. And so I got this overwhelmed feeling that I need to spend more time there. And I've always loved California. I've always loved LA. I thought it's always been a dream of mine to live there. But I'm thinking that there's something about the energy there that allows more to come through for me, because even here in
Yeah.
Toronto, I see ghosts, but I've never had them ask to speak to me. I've never had them follow me throughout the day. I've never had them speak through me like whatever spoke through us that day. So who knows where this
So did
goes?
you like, you don't
There's no ending to the
do you
story. There is no ending to the
yeah,
story.
like, there's no closure with this one yet anyways. Like, I wanna know the end of the story and who is this child, or and who is this person that was following you, and what are they trying to say?
Yeah, I can't
That's
give
so
you an ending
much.
to this, but when I came back to Toronto and I was in my car after a long work day, I sat in my car. My car seat was in a different spot. My right rear view mirror was in a different spot, and my rear view mirror inside the car was in a different spot. And that doesn't happen. That's maybe happened maybe once since I've got this car. And I have the only key, so it's not like anybody else came in my car. And I understand maybe the chair being in a different spot because it's electric and sometimes things glitch and it moves to a new position. Same thing with the rear view mirror or the side mirror. It's also electric. So something could have glitched and made that happen.
Mhm.
But my rear view mirror is only, it's manual, so you have to physically touch and move it. So something moved my rear view mirror because it wasn't just like not
Ew!
close to where it was, like it was in
Yeah.
a completely different position. I couldn't even see at the back window. So something moved my mirror. And so I'm wondering if now that I've opened up the door and I've said, "Hey, I'm ready to listen," I'm wondering if spirit says, "Hey, we're ready to talk." So,
Wow, okay, well, you're gonna really have to keep us updated if there's a
oh yeah.
continuation to this story, because I'm gonna be thinking about this.
Oh, yeah, me too. I'm also gonna be thinking
Yeah,
about this.
I'm
Uh,
sure.
so who knows? Maybe I'm gonna be the next Long Island medium, you know?
Wow. You're gonna need to grow out your hair for that and get a big blonde
Yeah.
blowout.
Well, the blonde's already there. She should grow it out and get like a bump it or
Just ye
something, you know?
Yes, sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
More volume. Yeah. Here
Yeah,
for it.
at least. Yeah, I was gonna say that's how she connects, is through the hair. The closer to
Yeah,
God
exactly.
or whatever, right?
Yeah. It's just her hair is plugged into the afterlife.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah,
tapping.
here for it. But besides that, the rest of the trip was great. I saw a friend I haven't seen in years, so we reconnected. The second night, we all went out to the Abbey, and there's definitely some footage on my phone that HR would love to get their hands on, but I will
Nice.
literally never, never let them out of my death grip.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I For all of you wondering, why I didn't go, I made the
Mhm.
decision that it just didn't align with my values going to the States right now, and originally we were told we were going to Mexico, which I remember, we've had a past podcast where we talked about how we were headed to Mexico or whatever, and then that got
Yep.
canceled because they told us Mexico wasn't a safe place to be. But then it was rescheduled to the States, which to me is a way less safe place to be right now. It just doesn't align with my values. I literally own a safe space salon in the city. I have a trans care fund. I'm also Indigenous. I just want to stand in support of all those people that aren't able to walk into that country or out of that country whether they're just actually not allowed or whether they don't feel safe doing it. I just morally can't do it. So that's why I made the decision not to go.
I
So yeah.
completely understand that point of view. I mean, I get why, as somebody who's a person of color and queer, I go out of my way to do things that other people tell me I'm not allowed to do just because I don't want someone else to feel like they have the power over dictating what I feel like I'm entitled to or allowed to have as an experience. So I understand why you wouldn't want to do what, go down to the US.
Yeah, it's so interesting because, like, of course, you and I are on the same page. We're besties. We both have the same values, but, like, it's funny how we both take it, like, use that in a
Different,
different way.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, you
yeah,
decided that that means that you should go to just be like, "Well, like, fuck this. I am," you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I am doing it, and I'm gonna prove a point, and I'm gonna show people that I can do it, and then for me, it's the opposite. I'm just like, it's not for me right now, you know?
2
So,
sides of the
yeah.
same coin.
Yep, 2 sides, it's very interesting. I did have people ask me after, like, "Are you and Benny okay? Are you guys gonna be okay?" And I was like, "Oh, we're never not okay." Neither of us are upset with each other or like, we completely understand each other's perspectives and
Mhm.
why
And
each of
support the
us
other
made the
one,
decision
like
and support the other one, like, I'm not mad at
yeah,
you for going at all, and I know that you're not mad at me, we understand each other's,
mhm,
and we're both on the same team. It's just,
yeah,
you know we just both made a personal decision that felt right for us in that moment, right?
and you weren't alone, so I'm pretty sure the number of people was supposed to be around 200 to attend this training, and
Yeah,
who actually ended up showing up was closer to 70, so
yeah.
that's less than half of the amount of people that had originally RSVP'd yes to this event in Mexico.
Which
So,
is wild and
definitely
actually honestly kind of validated me because
yeah,
of course I had moments, during the training where I was like, "Oh, I should have just gone. Like maybe I'm just being, silly." And then when you told me that, I was like, "No, for me personally, I feel like I did the right thing." If that many people also felt uncomfortable doing it, I feel like I'm
100%.
proud that I stood my ground, you know what I mean? That's a
I
lot
agree
of
with you.
people.
That's more
Yeah,
than
so
half.
that's more than half. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we would have just gone to Mexico. I really feel like all of those people would have gone to Mexico. It's just really unfortunate that, we couldn't have all been together in a place that everybody felt safe at a training.
You know what's
So
so funny is
anyways,
there has been maybe 3 or 4 trips that were planned for me to go to Mexico. All of them got canceled at the last minute for some other random reason.
all through like hair industry or just like in
No, no,
general
just,
going
like,
to
in
Mexico?
general, like, life. Like,
Hmm.
this is the 2nd Mexico trip this year that got canceled for me. I was supposed to go for New
Oh,
Year's,
wild.
canceled. Supposed to go this time, canceled. I was supposed to go 2 other times when I was younger. One of them we
Oh.
canceled as a group because there was a bunch of people getting kidnapped, and we thought, "Well, never mind that." Same thing the 2nd time. The 2nd time we were supposed to go, there was a bunch of people from Woodbridge getting kidnapped, and so we thought, "Let's just go to Miami instead." So now I'm just deciding that I guess I'll never make it to Mexico.
For me, the last time I was supposed to be going to Mexico was for a hair industry work-related trip, and I broke my foot right before I was supposed to be
Oh,
going, and I was supposed to be
yeah.
remember? I was supposed to be, like, teaching at this event and doing, like, a hair show
Yeah.
kind of event, and I was devastated. That's the first time I've ever broken a bone, and of course, I did it right before I'm supposed to be going to Mexico.
Mexico.
So
Whoa.
that was devastating, but I'll get
Yeah.
there eventually for work. So they have an Academy of
We'll
Hair
get
in
there.
Mexico. Yeah, which, I think is pretty cool, and that was the reason why it was supposed to be in Mexico City in the first place, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, 'cause it's about the only place they have the academy is Mexico, LA, and Dusseldorf.
yeah.
So that was our trip. All in all, good times had by all, and, I did bring back your mannequin. I left the other one in
Mm,
California because, to be honest with you, it
okay.
looks like every other highlight tutorial we've ever
Yeah,
done. It's like,
blonding. Yeah.
how many
Mhm.
times can we show somebody a 15 foil placement?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I get it. It's
Nothing new.
cool, but it's nothing new, although this time there was a zigzag parting for everything, so
Yes, there was. Zigzag and backcomb.
whoa.
Yeah.
Zigzag
Yeah.
and back comb, yeah.
Yeah, see, I was supposed to be teaching at this event, which made it even shittier because I actually was asked to write a class for it, and,
Yeah.
then, of course, that
They
didn't
still
end up
taught your
happening.
class, but they
Well,
had
they still
somebody
taught my
else teach
class.
it.
They had
Yeah, they
somebody else
still
teach the
yeah.
class, so
She did the best she could.
Yep.
There was a lot of questions that were unanswered in that class. Ultimately, it was a pretty good experience. I will say there was one moment that one of the managers asked the 3 of us how things have been for us, and it was very
Mhm,
eye-opening for her because I'm not one to mince words or lie, and I'm pretty
mhm.
sure somebody else would have given them an answer that they wanted to hear, and I didn't have that filter. So
Mm,
let's see if things happen in the future that make it easier for us to do our job, or at least not harder for us to do our job.
yeah,
So
interesting.
we shall see. But what this does do is this segues me perfectly into today's topic, which is industry trends and practices that we feel need to be abolished, outdated, taken away, gotten rid of, gone with the wind. And the first one that I would like to bring up is
Let's hear it.
brand segregation. I think that this was the first opportunity
Yes.
where different brands were able to experience each other. And you and I have had a different experience because we've done hair shows with different brands, and we are pretty
Yeah.
fortunate to be very happy go lucky and we talk easily with people. So we have broken down barriers and we've made it so that the other brands feel comfortable being around us and talking to us. But that's not the norm in this industry. I've worked in hair shows where when you're backstage, the other artists are covering their models' heads with capes so that you don't see the work.
Yeah.
Everybody, right? Like, girl, shut up.
Isn't that
Nobody cares about your
wild?
red highlights. Cool. You know, like, we're all here to learn from each other. And I think it was really awesome for us to finally realize that each brand has their own point of view, their own strengths, their own weaknesses. One does not make it better than the other. It's just a different way of attacking the same problem. And we were able to actually learn from each other and take the best of each world and apply it to the way we are working in our brand. So I would love to see more of these cross brand education events that isn't necessarily us versus them, you know?
You know what's so silly is like really everybody is there because they're passionate about hair and about their artistry.
Yeah.
So like why gatekeep? Why try to hide, whatever you're doing from the next hairstylist? Like you're all there for the same reason and that's what's so ridiculous about those kind of hair shows where they're like hiding their models from each other. Like who cares?
Yeah.
We're all here for the same reason. Let's work together instead of against each other.
Right, and wouldn't you want to also inspire people from other brands?
Yes,
Wouldn't that be
exactly.
just as
Like
advantageous for you? Like, yeah.
you'd think it would be more advantageous if you were nice to each other instead of, you
Yeah.
know, mean girl to each other trying to hide your work.
Yeah. But that's, I
Yeah.
guess, toxic salon culture, and so I think one thing I will notice is there was one brand that when this event started, it's kinda notorious for being kinda, like, off to their own. I'm not gonna name names, but, you know who you are,
I already
and
know.
yeah, we
Yeah.
already know who we're talking about,
Yeah.
and towards the end of this event, you could easily tell that that barrier was slowly starting to lift up and people were starting to open up to other brands,
Yeah.
and we forget that our loyalty is not to a brand, our loyalty is to our industry and to who we are as
Exactly.
hairstylists, you know? Like,
100%.
brands come and go,
Yep.
products come and go, techniques come and go, trends come and go, jobs come and go. Like,
Yep.
you might not work for this brand in 5 years. So really, who are you loyal to? Are you loyal to the brand or are you loyal to the person that makes that brand who they are? So
Such a
I'm
good point.
pretty happy to see that we're finally starting to realize that. I know it's gonna be difficult for brands that are from other parent companies to, cross mesh, but hopefully we find ways to make that easier in the future.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Um
thanks. How about
are,
you? Do you have any
are
industry trends or things you would love to
I
see
do. Are
change?
we going to go back and forth here? My next industry trend is the AI inspo that we are brought
Oh
in.
god. Oh, yeah.
Good one, right? Like
Whew. That's a good
how
one.
how many times are we behind the chair? We bring our stylist into the chair "Do you have any inspo pics?" "Yeah, I do." And they bring out an AI photograph that is completely unattainable. It's not even real. The color's not even real color. Like,
Yeah.
literally just setting unrealistic expectations for clients left and right and expecting
Mhm.
us to be wizards, and it's so they literally look like Sims, like, it's not real. We can't do that for you. So, yes, that is
Nope.
my this trend needs to die, AI inspo.
Well, you know what? You know that it's not going anywhere anytime soon. That AI
No,
is
it's only
only
gonna
gonna
get
be getting
worse.
better and
Yep.
worse. So, unfortunately, I
Yep.
hate to tell you that I don't
Brace
think it's going anywhere.
yourselves.
But yeah, brace
Unfortunately,
yourselves.
brace yourself. Yep.
What we can do is find ways to realistically set expectations for our clients and ask them,
Yes.
"Why do you like this photo?"
Yes.
What part? I mean, treat
Yes.
it like any other photo they show you. The amount of times clients show you a photo of somebody that has had, it edited or the lighting is crazy. It's our job to look at that and break it down and say, okay, so this part is real, this part is not. This is
100%.
doable. This is okay for you to, understand that you can have this, but your maintenance is going to be XYZ. And it's just, yeah, it just adds another layer onto
Yeah.
how we consult.
Decoding an inspiration photo.
Yeah, it's not
Uh,
even about, like, understanding, it's decoding because it's now freaking AI.
yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, Benny, on to you. What's your, trend that needs to die? Do you have another one?
I would love to see a trend die. Oh, I'm okay. Hot take, I'm really annoyed of people, and maybe that's just because of what I actually do, of people calling themselves a blonde specialist. I know we talked about
Oh,
this in the first
yes.
episode, but it
Yep.
still grinds my gears that there are people out here who think that by narrowing down on such a specific target audience and
Yep.
technique and outcome that they consider themselves a specialist and an expert in something, and
Yep.
an expert, it makes you not. I do not think that you are, safely able to call yourself an expert unless you're able to do all kinds of blonding. Maybe you can be a balayage specialist or a lived in color specialist. And I do really respect artists that say that they are a lived in color specialist or a
Mhm.
balayage specialist because that gives the client a little bit more of a realistic expectation. But just by blanket statement saying you're a blonding expert, yet you can't do a global retouch without breaking someone's hair
Mhm.
off, or you don't understand how important it is to tone with reflecting and contributing
Yep.
pigments and all that stuff. To me, that is integral to being a blonding expert. If you can take any situation and work it into some sort of blonding service, I still get super annoyed by that. And
Yep.
it just grinds my gears when I see someone's Instagram and they're like, I'm a blonding expert. And every single post on their page is the exact same person with the
Yep.
same set of highlights.
Exactly, they do one type of blonde. Just because you do blondes all day doesn't make you a blonding expert. There's a lot more to it than just
Yeah.
that.
There's a
100%
lot
agree.
more to it. And what are you gonna do in 15 years when all your clients have now started to get grays and you don't know how to do proper gray management and you talk them into more blending with their more highlights?
Mhm.
What are you gonna
Hopefully, you're
do?
gonna turn yourself into a gray coverage specialist at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Watch, you heard it here first. In about 5 to 10 years, everyone's gonna be a gray management specialist.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I've got one for you.
Oh,
Uh,
sick.
TikTok hair tutorials.
Ooh, okay, explain.
I would love for those to die. Just okay, here's my take on it. Any type of online tutorials when it comes to teaching someone how to cut their own hair or color their own hair at home. The whole like even the whole Brad Mondo video stuff, like all of that needs to die in my eyes. Being an educator for, the past 10, 12 years of my life, the amount of classes that used to fill compared to the amount of classes that fill now are it's it's a ridiculous comparison because now everybody just takes their classes online. Like, they just go on TikTok. and, like, learn a new
Yeah.
trend online.
Yeah.
It literally is dying education, like, in-person education. It's
Well, you
awful.
know what? It's really interesting you bring this up because this was actually something we discussed in our keynote, with our keynote speaker on the first day,
Yeah,
because the industry is shifting. A lot has changed, and COVID really pushed everybody to, pay attention to these changes. But our industry is
yeah,
definitely not the same. A lot of it has gone online. And I agree with you in the sense that there needs to be a shift in how people create their content.
yeah,
I don't necessarily think that we need to get rid of hair videos. I think what we need to do is get rid of the ones that don't serve a real purpose. A lot of the
yeah.
times, what you're seeing is clickbait, where someone is showing you an oversimplified version of a very difficult technique that lends people to believe that they're able to do something without further education. When the technique is
Eh
properly educated and you learn, "Hey, this is just a beginner, outline," you have to actually speak to a real educator or have a real class with hands-on education to learn this. I think that
yeah.
is okay, but I do think the clickbait needs to go.
For me, like, a great example of what I'm kinda thinking of is, like, the quote, unquote, "butterfly haircut," where all of
Oh,
a
yeah.
sudden everybody is, like, pulling all their hair forward, taking their kitchen shears, and just, like, hacking off their hair. It was, like, viral on Instagram, and now everybody's giving themselves that haircut. Or, like, the haircut where you put your hair in 2 ponytails, like,
2
one higher and one
ponytails.
lower.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like,
Okay,
"Die
but
already,
why
die."
do those slap? Why does it when I watch those videos, the haircut looks good almost every fucking time?
I feel like because it's just movie magic, Benny, it's not real.
How is it not real? These are just average, regular, degular people putting 2 ponytails
Regular
in.
Degula.
Yeah, and they're putting 2
I don't know,
ponytails
man.
in, and it's
I don't know,
working.
man. I just wanted to die. That's all I gotta say about that. I hate it.
I mean, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I am gonna say I'm kinda happy that we're starting to teach people how to do their hair.
Do you remember COVID and how many people tried to cut their own hair? Did you have a million
Yes.
fixes? Like, a
Surprisingly, not
million
as much as
fixes.
I thought I would have.
Oh, I had so many cut and color, which color is even, more challenging than cut
Yeah.
sometimes, depending on what boxes they're putting on their hair, but, like, holy man, this is where I stand. It's gotta die.
I know, but it's not going anywhere. It's
No,
if
it's not
anything,
going anywhere.
it's gonna get worse.
Yes. Agreed, agreed. I wish it would die, but I'm not saying it's going to die. Yeah. Yep.
So
Okay,
far,
what about
everything you've
you?
asked for dying is, like, only gonna get worse as time goes on.
Yeah,
AI,
exactly.
home videos.
Yeah, all the things I just wanna be 20 years in the past where we didn't have all of this technology
Yeah, and the
and
only way you
real
really had
people
to
doing
market
real hair.
yourself was with a freaking card, and you walked out on the street. Like that,
Hell
I miss
yeah.
those days.
Those were the days. Okay, you're
Okay,
up. What do you got?
industry trend that I have, which we touched on before, but it still grinds my gears, is hair product lines that have too many SKUs. I'm not calling out any names.
Oh,
If you heard me talk about one particular brand before, you know that I think they're the king of this. But it really drives me up the walls when these brands figure out more ways to charge us more money and release new products, segregating everything so minutely to the point where now I have to have a like a $6,000 fucking intro to bring into my salon in order for me to be able to use this product properly. It
yep.
just makes me so annoyed. It's a money grab and I get what they're doing and I'm just absolutely sick of it.
Yeah,
Sick of
that's a good
it.
one. Yep, yep. Okay, how about unblended extensions? And I'm thinking,
Oh.
I'm thinking,
Yeah.
the Real Lives of the Mormon Wives type hair.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. The choco-block of hair?
yes, just the really
Yeah.
long, unblended, like, never been texturized piece of extension that's just, like just popped right in there. Oh my god, they drive me crazy.
Drives me nuts. I used to have a client that I had to tell her, "I'm not doing your hair anymore because I can't have you walking around like this saying that I did it," but she would put all her extensions in, and she wouldn't let me blend them because she was like, "Oh,
Oh.
I'm gonna hold on to all the length," and it's like, "Babe, we're not getting rid of your length, we're making the length look like yours. You
Yeah,
have these layers that reach your fucking cheekbone, and then everything then goes down to your middle of your back. You're not fooling
Yeah.
anybody.
Do people think is that like a style now? Like, do they are they going for the unblended?
Remember when that whole, like, one length haircut was a really popular trend, like that, like,
Yeah.
schoolgirl hair, all one length? I think what they're trying to do is to get that, but that cut, number 1, doesn't work for everybody, and number 2, if you've got short layers that you're trying to extend out, it looks way worse. At that point, just add some front layers. If your hair is already long and then you put the extensions in, sure, go for the blunt
Yeah,
one
no
length cut.
problem. Yeah.
No problem. But if you gotta blend out these short layers, girl, we all
Yeah.
know. And you
Yep.
shouldn't have to just keep waving it for it to blend. You should be able to just wear it straight.
Mhm. What about you? Do you have any more?
Oh, I'm sure if I keep at it, a million will come up. But, this is something that's in the hair industry, but also just in general for all content creators. I'm so freaking sick of people splitting up their videos into 2 or 3 parts. Fit it all in one fucking video or don't fucking tell me anything at all. Ah.
That's a funny one. You know what? That really, goes into my next one, which was I wrote this one down. Those friggin' Insta posts with the same photo and 1 sentence on each slide. They drive me nuts. It's the same photo 20 20 clicks later with 1 sentence. They drive me bonkers, and I want that to die. I hate it so much. It's so stupid. I always give up, like, 3 slides in, I'm like, "Okay, on to the next post. I don't care."
Yes. Oh my
Verbatim,
god,
that's what I
that's
wrote.
so funny. That's so funny. You know
That one
what?
makes
I
me
feel you
angry.
on that. I feel you on that. Wow, good
Yeah,
one, Tash. That was a really
thanks,
fucking
Bunny.
good one. Yeah, yeah. Whew, that one hit home. Yeah, I've never done
Mm.
it, but I mean, won't be
Me
doing that one
neither,
now,
but I
that's for sure.
yeah, yeah, you know,
My
you're not gonna do
my
it now that
ex-boss for
Tash is
just
gonna
one
critique
photo.
it.
Just one photo, a million different slides with every word on it.
Oh
Here
my
for it.
god, it's so annoying.
Okay, I've got one, and it's from a video that
Okay.
you sent me on Instagram, which I thought was
Ooh,
unbelievable. You sent me this video of this hairstylist doing
what is
2
it?
clients' hair at once, and he had, like,
Oh,
several
yeah.
assistants to the point. Okay, I'm gonna map out this video for you guys, okay? So, there's
It's
2
so
clients
good.
sitting there. It's so good, but the worst. It's like, I wonder if this is real or if it's actually just, like, performative.
Yeah,
So he's
for show.
the one assistant is holding the section in place. He walks up to the section that has been exposed. He backcombs maybe 3 times and then holds the hair up, waits for another assistant to slide in with the foil to then apply the lightener. As he moves on to the next person, backcombs the hair of the section that's been exposed. And by the time he's finished backcombing that, the first person's finished applying lightener. He moves back, next section, backcombs. What are you fucking doing? What are
Yeah,
you doing? You're backcombing the hair and moving on? Why were you there to begin with? What part of that was done by you? The section was done by somebody else. The foil application was done by somebody else. In my opinion, the actual painting of lightener is way more important than the 1-2 backcomb that you did before you moved on to the next section. You didn't even like what the hell is going on?
it looked like he was running a race to me. That's what that whole like, it made me feel
Yeah.
out of breath. Yeah,
Imagine
not
sitting there
cool.
getting your hair done, seeing somebody like huff and puff on all around you, backcombing, running to the next person. Like, girl, sit down, calm down, have
Yeah,
a
he was
drink of
probably just
water.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a wild one.
And that was an exaggerated version, but there's a lot of stylists who do work like that. And
Oh, yeah.
it's like, calm down. An assistant's not there to do the work for you. They're there to assist the work that is being
Yeah.
done by you.
Yeah,
Big
exactly.
difference.
That was just like the token hairstylist trying to make way more money, than he could be kind of thing,
100%.
doing one client. You got any more for me?
Like, it's super niche, so I'm so sick and tired of inky purple shampoos. Why do they need to be so fucking
Oh.
deposit heavy? I'm saying this as an exact story. I'm not going to say the brand. When we were at the training, one of our educators forgot her purple shampoo, so she borrowed one from one of our brands and took it back to the hotel. She washed her hair, and it made her hair like dark purple, like inky dark purple.
Oh.
And I
Ooh.
understand you're trying to be effective, but nobody needs if you need a purple toner that's that purple, get a fucking toner. Go to the salon and get a toner because what happens when you sell these products to clients who want their hair to be blonder, they're always gonna come back with this inky dark blonde that's been over purple shampooed to
Yeah,
the
it looks
heavens,
matted,
and
looks
it
matte.
looks so bad, and you know they're just trying
Yeah,
to make it brighter, so they use it for longer and longer, and I'm just so sick of this. Sell a lighter shampoo. Nobody needs it to be that toned.
yeah.
Nobody needs it to be that freaking purple.
Yeah, for me, kinda goes along with the just overtoned gray blondes in general.
Yeah,
Like, the
100%.
people that are just yeah, they just cannot get enough. I'm glad that it's kinda slowly going away, I think, but just, like, the really matte, overtoned gray blondes are out
Yeah.
and need to take a break for a while.
Oh my god, this reminds me of a moment from the training that I'm gonna tell you guys about. So, I was obviously drunk and feeling quite
I
bold,
was
and so
obviously
I
drunk.
obviously drunk, yeah. It was, like, at the end of the night, we were at dinner or something, and I walked up to one of the other educators, and I just point blank was like, "Your hair is too cool toned. I don't like it on you." And she's like, "Oh,
Ah,
explain." And I was like, looking at your skin tone, I think" and because her hair was so ashy, I she also wore, like, cool tone makeup. She was wearing very cool tone clothes, and so at some point like, I thought about it a few days leading up to it, but I was like, "You know what? Fuck it. We're leaving tomorrow. I'm gonna tell her how I feel right now."
oh my
So I walked
god.
up to her, I told her, "You need I know that you're probably gonna wanna start with a gold blonde, so start with something that's 70% gold, 30% copper, but
Yeah.
ultimately, you need to be a 9.4. You need to be a copper blonde.
Ooh,
On your
yeah,
skin, you're gonna be giving, like, ethereal, bombshell blonde. It's giving because people don't understand, when you go for a well-lifted blonde and you tone it with a very strong gold or copper blonde, the hair literally shines from within. It is, like,
yeah,
luminescent, and it makes on
yeah,
the right skin tone, it just slaps, and I told her this, I
yeah,
said, "This is a
stunning.
in my opinion, a career-changing blonde moment for you," and I think she got a little bit annoyed when I said that
Mm.
because she's like, "Oh, all I do is blondes, I'm a blonde specialist." I was like, "Okay, that might be cool, but there's something to be said about finding the right tone for a blonde. I should be able to tell you what tone is perfect for you, and
Isn't
I
that what
hope,
should make
pray to
you a
God."
blonde specialist? If
Oh, you
as a blonde
fucking think?
specialist, shouldn't you know what tone of blonde is best on you? I don't know, just saying.
Just saying, hot take. I think it's very
Yeah,
important as a blonde specialist because it's just as important to finish the bonding service with the perfect toner. And I have
yes.
a couple clients that I've switched over to copper blondes, and all of them beforehand have always been like super ashy, super cool. And the second I put a warm gloss on their hair, in particular, like a 9.4 or anything that's like a gold reflection with copper, their
Yep,
skin glows. Their hair looks luminescent, it looks shiny, it looks soft. Not everybody's meant to be an icy platinum blonde. I understand you wanna be bright.
yeah. I find it really
Yeah.
hard for people to pull off a cool tone really well
Oh,
because
yeah.
a lot of skin tones need a little bit of that warmth in their hair, right? To
Especially
bring out
as we age.
exactly, especially as we age, especially I mean, I live in, like, a winter wonderland here, so nobody ever has, like, a tan or sun on their skin at all, right? So, like, a lot of clients need to have a little bit of warmth, at least, in their hair to
Mhm.
bring out any natural tone in their skin at all so they don't look
Yep.
dead,
Yep.
honestly.
And you know what? The
Yep,
same thing goes for brunettes. I'm so sick of everybody wanting an inky, ashy, dark brunette.
yep,
I love me a chocolate brown. Now, mind you, I will be devil's advocate. Not every brand is able to do this properly. A lot of brands,
mhm,
when you put like a warm brown on someone, it goes red. I understand
yep,
a lot of people are afraid. This is not a paid advertisement for Pravana. Their golds don't go red. If you're very scared, try
mhm,
one. 4.3 as a gold color, simple. I use it all the time on my clients. 4.4 or 4 point GBV or whatever on the Hydro Gloss. I go through that color almost more than a 4N or 4 natural. It looks on the
yep.
right person, done properly with a good color line that doesn't lean red, 20 out of 10.
Yeah, looking at the color wheel, the Pravana golds are really interesting because they're actually teetering towards the greens, so they're a cooler gold or an
Mm,
ashier gold, which
mhm.
is really
Which
interesting, and
actually
that's
makes sense because
why
then the green
yeah,
cancels out the red.
yeah, exactly, so that's why the Pravana golds are really nice is because it is teetering towards, a cooler version of gold, not a warmer red version of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I would love to see people lean more into warm colors. I'm not trying to say walk out with a copper red hair, and I think when I told her that, like, 3 other stylists, like, jumped on my tail, and they were, "She is never gonna go copper. She's gonna
No
hate it."
way.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, okay, fair." What I was leaning towards was because there was one in particular stylist who was like, "I think she should go to, like, a 7cc." And I was like, "Great. That's never gonna fucking happen because
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, but that's what she needs." And I was like, "I understand that's what she needs, but if you were to say that to a client like this, she's gonna run for the fucking hills. She's never gonna trust you again. But if you start with a gold, copper, blonde toner that's still level 10, that's 70% gold, 30% copper, they're gonna love
Yeah.
it. Guess what? Next time they come back, you're able to go 50-50 gold, copper. Guess what? Next time they come back,
Exactly.
you lean fully into the level 9 copper. Now they're obsessed. Then you start to suggest a base color that's on a warmer
Yeah.
side.
You lean
Then you
into
can
it.
start to you lean into it.
Mhm.
Blondorexia is a real fucking thing. You cannot get
Yeah.
someone to change their mind if they've been a level 10 icy platinum blonde forever.
No, do you know how shocking
Oh, yeah. They'll never
yeah,
do
how
it. They'll
shocking
never
that
do
would
it.
be to take, like, a level 10 cool blonde to a 7cc? They would cry and bawl their eyes out. There's no
Oh,
way
and
the
I wouldn't
majority
blame
of
them.
people couldn't do that. Every once in a while,
Yeah,
someone's really good at a serious change like that, but I would
yeah.
cry. Like, you've gotta
Oh, yeah.
ease that in, right?
Especially if you weren't expecting it going into it, like, if you weren't pining over this color for years and eventually dived
Yeah.
into it, then cool, but if somebody tried to explain that to you and made you do that on the chair, like, that's fighting words afterwards, like, I am taking you to court if you make my hair 7cc
Yep.
from a fucking 10 platinum blonde. We're fighting.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
fighting after
100%.
this.
Yep.
You better
Agreed.
keep your scissors nearby because I'm cutting you.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. So, that was my I don't even know what my original hate, or need to change there was, but I'm just happy that people are starting to explore the warmer color side.
Mhm. Ditto.
Mhm.
I have an interesting, kind of industry news to tell you about if you want to hear about it.
Would love to.
So, Redken has announced their newest artistic ambassador network. There are
Ooh.
20 stylists, celebrity type stylists or Instagram famous stylists that are on this ambassador network list. But there has been a lot of backlash about the 20 that they chose.
Tell us more.
Okay, so 6 out of the 20 so I actually took this quote from, on Instagram, Stephanie Grace Styles, who I just thought explained this really well about why people are kind of upset about this new artistic ambassador network. 6 out of the 20 people chosen are women. So 6 out of 20 are women. In an industry that is 90% female, in a 90% female dominated industry, and 80% of their consumers are women. Yet 70% of their ambassadors are men, when men make up 10% of their industry and about the same make up their consumer base. So basically, what happened was of
Mhm.
these ambassadors are men, and people are in uproar about this. They're not happy about it at all. But, I mean, not surprising to me.
Yes, not surprising. That's very sad, and
Yeah.
so, of course, that would reflect to the industry when it comes to education, you know?
Yeah,
So,
I
it
guess it's just
sucks, but
yeah, like, I feel like the women are feeling very misrepresented in,
yeah.
under Redken's control.
And I mean, I guess that is just Redken because even when I was at this, educator update, there was mostly females.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Well, I think Redken is mostly females too. They just chose the majority of men influencers for their for their team,
You know what?
and
I'm gonna
that's
bring this up as another thing that I would love to see change in this industry. I'm
yeah,
sick of people picking someone to be a leader because of their social following. Not
agreed, that's the
everybody who
worst.
is a good person at social media is a good leader or is a
Yeah,
good educator because they're able to market themselves online. They have, eye-catching techniques. They have a good hook. The amount of times I've gone to a class where somebody has, 300,000 followers and you go to their class, flatline,
mhm. Yep, it's one
you
thing to
know?
be really good at social media, and it's another thing to be really good at hair, and some people can do both, but not
Yeah,
everybody can do both, and it doesn't mean that the people that have, you know, thousands and thousands, 900K followers or whatever should be the leaders of
yeah,
that specific brand just because they're good at social media, right? But
I
it's
agree.
sad that
It's
that's kind of
really,
the way
really
that the world
hard.
works now. Yeah, it is really
Yep.
hard, and it takes some of those jobs and career opportunities away from someone that's actually really talented in the industry, I think,
Well, that
you
was gonna
know?
be my next point. There's so many artists that I speak to personally that would
Yeah.
say things to me along the lines of, "I would love to be an educator, I would love to be a so and so, but I don't have the
Yeah.
social following." And it's like,
Yes.
"No, you still need to we need people like you. We need the
Yep.
everyday stylist who understands, get
Yep.
out there, get on stage, still do the interviews, still meet those people." A lot of people feel like because they don't have a following, they don't have justification to teach. And that's not the
Yep.
case at all.
Yep.
Some of the best educators that I've ever met have no following, but they have the most insight on how to actually educate and how to actually
100%.
inspire. So I would
100%.
love to see, and that's just with all industries. It's not just, hair. I remember one time I went to a Broadway show and the guy, it was, what was the show? Oh, it was Mean Girls. And they had
Mm.
somebody playing Aaron Samuels who was just a TikTok influencer, couldn't sing
Right.
to save his fucking life, couldn't act to
Yep.
save his fucking life, and every time he tried to sing, people laughed in the audience because they were just so embarrassed for him, and the whole time
Yep.
I kept thinking, number 1, he only got this job because he's big on TikTok, and number 2,
Yep.
he's not in the position to have this job, and number 3, imagine how he feels because he knows he's bombing,
Yep.
and then he's gonna start to feel actual imposter syndrome, and justifiably, because he does
Yep.
not belong there.
Yeah,
Put a
but do you
real
think he
actor up on
cares?
stage.
Do you think he
No, he's
cares?
still
Like,
getting
I don't know,
paid, but, I mean, maybe by the
yeah,
4th show, I would
exactly.
hope he cares.
Yeah, you would hope he cares, but I don't know if some people do or if they just, you know I think,
They have
yeah, it's
ego.
unfortunate.
They let it be
Yeah,
way. They live.
exactly. I think that when you have that many Instagram followers, or TikTok or whatever it is, you might have a lot of ego and you don't care
Yeah.
what people say or think about you, it's just taking up another experience from someone that's been maybe singing and dancing their whole lives, like dying to
Yep.
be that play that role, right?
100%, and they would have
Yep.
been the perfect Aaron Samuels with his hair pushed back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so we've got a letter today for you guys, and today this
Yes.
letter is from the POV of a client, so I'm very excited to read this one.
Oh, okay, let's hear this.
Yeah. I started reading it, so I have no idea how this is finishes. We'll take this journey together, okay?
Okay, love it.
Okay, so this letter is named Dear Hair Therapist. Okay, I don't know if I need advice or if I just need to be told I'm not the problem. So last weekend, I booked a hair appointment because I decided it was time for a fresh start. New season, new me, emotional stability pending. I walk into the salon feeling confident. I've got my Pinterest board ready. I've mentally committed to being chill, low maintenance, a grown adult. The stylist sits me down and asks what I'm thinking. I say, and quote, I just want something very natural, effortless, like I woke up like this. She smiles, nods, I feel seen. Then I show her the photo. Why did her face change? Like,
Hmm,
not in a dramatic way, but in a subtle, I'm about to enter a negotiation I didn't ask for kind of way. She starts
hmm,
asking questions, a lot of questions. When was the last time you colored your hair? Have you used box dye? Any previous lightning? I'm like, okay, relax. This isn't an interrogation. I say no, nothing major, which is technically true if you don't consider the pandemic era where I went dark, then lighter, and then tried to fix it myself at 2 a.m. after watching 3 TikTok videos and gaining confidence
oh
I
god,
did not
here we
earn.
go. Here we go. Perfect
I guess
timing.
perfect timing. It was probably a bad Brad Mundo video.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
Anyways, she parts my hair, pauses, and I swear I felt judged by the silence alone. Then she tells me what I want is going to take multiple sessions. Multiple sessions. I'm sorry, respectfully, how many sessions does it take to look like the girl in the photo who definitely was born like that and has never made a mistake in her life? I tell her,
Ooh.
yeah, totally, I get it. I did not get it. So I ask very casually, but like, can we just try today and see? She gives me a look, not rude, just informative, like I should have already known the answer. We move forward
Mm.
anyways. She suggests a softer, more realistic blonde. Fine, realistic. I'm open. I'm flexible. I'm evolving. Side note: if somebody's showing you a photo that's very lived in, like I woke up like this, wouldn't it automatically fall under a softer, more realistic blonde? Question mark. Like,
Yeah.
how intense is
Okay.
this photo?
Yeah, I'm curious.
The
I'd like to
appointment
see it.
takes 3 hours, which is fine, I understand that. I'm starving, I've had 3 coffees and no food. At one point, I felt like I left my body. Been there, I know that
Side
feeling.
note, do you think your hairstylist has had any coffees or food? Because she hasn't.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. She's also exhausted. She's also
She's
had the
also
same 3
dying.
coffees. Yeah, she probably took a
Exactly.
sip of your coffee first. Never mind, though,
Yeah,
she
okay,
probably didn't do
okay.
that, yeah. Finally, she spins me around the mirror and it looks good, like objectively good, healthy, blended, expensive looking, the kind of hair that whispers, I have my life together, even if I absolutely do not. But it's not the photo. So I say, I love it. I just feel like it's a little warm. Why did the energy shift again? She starts explaining tones, integrity, lighting. Honestly, I blacked out halfway through because I was still thinking about the photo. I leave, take some selfies, send them to my friends. Half of them say it looks amazing. One of them says, wait, I thought you were going blonde, blonde. Exactly. So now I'm
Oh.
confused. Did I get what I asked for? Did I communicate properly? Am I the drama? Also, be honest. Is it reasonable to expect to go from a few layers of personal growth on my hair to icy blonde in one appointment? Because I have another appointment booked, and I just need to know if I should adjust my expectations or lower them completely. Sincerely, a client who thought low maintenance blonde meant emotionally, not technically. Okay. Thank you so much for sending that
Mm,
letter in because there's a lot to bite and take on. Number
there
1,
really
from my
is.
perspective, if you're looking for something that's low maintenance, that tends to mean less blonde. The more blonde you have in the
Yeah,
hair, the more maintenance generally you can expect to have from this. So by telling your
yep,
stylist you want something low maintenance, effortless. That was it. I want
right.
something very natural and effortless, like I woke up like this. Honey, nobody wakes up super blonde.
Nobody does. No.
Nobody wakes up super blonde just effortlessly. It's always through a lot of work, and I
Yep,
can probably tell you that if your stylist looked at your base and told you it's gonna take a few sessions, chances are your base is probably on the darker side,
yep,
and the more blonde you're putting in there means the more blending that you're gonna have to do towards the root so you don't have a crazy grow situation. So I do think that what you got was a low maintenance blonde from what it sounds like. So maybe you are having unrealistic expectations.
was your photo AI? Is my question.
Valid. Absolutely. We're bringing it all right back to the beginning, guys, here. We're just touching on
Just
every single thing we
yeah.
would love to
Let's
change. Was
start
your
with
photo AI?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, something I would love for people to really take into consideration when they're looking for an inspiration photo, find an inspiration photo where the base of that person's color is similar to your base. What I mean by
Yes.
that, if you don't understand hair terminology, a base is the color that your hair grows out from your head. You can change your
Mhm.
base with a permanent color, but ultimately, the base usually is the color that grows out of your head. So if you're
And if
looking
you
at a
want it to be
photo,
low maintenance,
yeah,
you wanna stick to
especially if
your
you want it to be low
similar
maintenance.
base. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
exactly.
So when you're looking at this photo, if you see the person's base from their root is really light and bright, and they have a bunch of highlights, that's gonna look a lot blonder than if you put the exact same highlights on somebody with a darker base. So really
Yep.
pay attention to what the base of that color is, because changing your base is a whole thing. It's a l
Yep.
it's a it's at that point, you're really, really taking your maintenance through the roof, and you're probably gonna have a much warmer blonde after it washes out. Well, that's not
Yep.
probably, you're guaranteed gonna have a warmer blonde as that washes out. Anytime you bump the base, you're gonna be exposing some more.
Exactly, and you're in color correction territory at this point. You're not just going in for a blonding appointment. You are, like, literally changing everything about your entire hairdo. So,
Yes.
of course, this is gon yes, this is going to take more than one session. This is another kind of to go back to my, like, TikTok tutorial, Instagram tutorial, trend that I hope should die is, like, it sets unrealistic expectations when somebody that
Yes.
doesn't understand hair sees a 1-minute video of somebody starting with, level 2 dark hair, and they come out 1 minute later in this video with, like, a
Yes.
level 10 white blonde with a lighter base. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yep. Yep.
this also really relates to what we were talking about earlier. I feel for this client because, most
Yeah.
people don't understand how hair really works,
Well,
and
why would she?
it's
She's not a
why
hairstylist,
would she?
so
Exactly.
yeah.
Something like that isn't gonna happen in one session, let alone at all if you even have old color on your hair,
And
so
especially not in 3 hours.
and especially not in 3 hours, so no. I think your
Yeah.
stylist most likely did a really good job. You just have to
Yes.
talk about yours and your stylist expectations going forward when it
Yeah.
comes to what she can deliver for you and still keep hair on your head.
Yes, so it sounds like you have another appointment booked, which is a good thing because another thing you also have to consider when you're lifting your hair, if you do it all in one session, chances are you're gonna have a lot more breakage and you're gonna really compromise your hair. So it sounds like your stylist is getting you to where your photo is in stages so that your hair has time to recuperate, rebalance itself, repair itself before you go in with another level of lifting or another session of
Yep.
lifting. So, what we would recommend is get a bunch of K18, go crazy, treat your hair so well, and then go back and get some more highlights. And make sure you send us a before and after photo this time because I would love to
Yes.
see. I mean, I hope you didn't send us any photos in this, but I would love for you to show us photos from the first time. I'd love to see your inspo photo and I'd love to see how your hair color progresses. But it sounds like your hairstylist has got your back and it sounds like they're doing it in a way that's going to be maintaining your integrity while allowing you to have the look that you want. So, sit
100%.
tight, go get that next set of highlights. Usually it takes a few sets or multiple sessions, as she said, to get you there. Now, I'm going to also play devil's advocate. That doesn't mean that there isn't somebody out there that couldn't have done it for you in one session. Okay. That is
Yeah.
probably possible. It might not have been something that that stylist had time for that day or had the education on how to do in one session. That doesn't mean it's not possible. It just means it's not common. So,
And which all comes back to your expectations, right? Like, that's maybe
yes.
something to discuss with your stylist beforehand, whether they can deliver that in one session or not. And maybe they are the stylist that can and they have time for that. Maybe you booked, a session with
Yeah,
that
well, it
stylist
sounds
that
like they
doesn't give
weren't
them
because
enough
they told you
time.
right
Yeah,
away. They told
exactly.
them right away, like,
Yep.
"We're not gonna be able to get you to that, exact blonde." And I always wanna tell people, when you come in with an inspo photo, the goal is not to leave like the inspo photo. The goal is to
Yeah,
take inspiration from the photo and
exactly.
apply that to your hair. So if that means that it's gonna take you a few sessions to get to something that's similar to that, then that means that the inspiration photo is just a roadmap. It's not the destination. It is a roadmap to get you to where you can find some commonalities with aspects of that photo. But you're not
Yeah.
walking out looking like Jennifer Aniston, babe. That's just not. I'd love to be able to say you could. Probably not gonna happen.
No, even Jennifer Aniston
So
is highly
even
filtered.
Jennifer
So
Aniston's not walking out looking like Jennifer Aniston.
no, exactly. It's all
Yeah.
magic. It's all, iPhone magic.
Yeah, exactly. But we'd love for you to we'd love for you to like, subscribe, and comment on our videos because by doing so, it helps us out a lot to find new people and have them listen to us as well. So thank you so much for
Yes, thank
everything you guys have
you.
done. Thank you for sending in your letters. We love reading them. And thank you for commenting on our photos and stuff on Instagram, which is Locks of Lore Podcast. Make sure you follow us. And we will be back next week.
Yes, we'll see you soon.
Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
That wraps up today's episode of Locks of Lore. If this conversation hit close to home, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a stylist who needs to hear it.
You can find us on social media at Benny_and the Jets
and at TashPotatoes_hair.
If you've got a story, question, or salon situation you want us to break down, send it our way, anonymously always, at locksoflorepodcast@gmail.com.
Until next time, know your worth,
Protect your energy,
and we'll see you behind the chair.